Welcome everyone to another book review, another pixelated book review. Anyway, so this is Aeon Legion from our great creator of Terrible Writing Advice. I remember seeing this book a long time ago and never got into it because I just never read books. Like I said before, if you didn't watch the last video, it was in the last video. But yeah, after I read that first book, I was like, you know what? Let me give this a shot. Let me see what's going on in this world of Aeon, of Legions, of Book of One, of a Labyrinth and stuff. Yeah, so that's what I decided to do. And I picked this up because I was like, yeah, I like the guy's YouTube channel, and I think with all the writing advice he probably gives, maybe he makes a really good book, you know? That's what makes sense to me, right? So, yeah. But it ended up having a different experience than I was expecting, I guess you could say. So, yeah, I mean, is this what I expected from the book? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. We'll all find out, right? Is it as good as I think everyone thinks it is, or is it bad because he just used his fame for fortune? No, he's probably not doing that. But anyways, so I guess enough with this chit chat. Like I say, without further ado, let's start this review. Description. So, per usual, I will not spoil the story as best as I can because I feel like that's not what we should be doing here unless I'm talking about the whole series. But I'm not. I'm just talking about one book, and I feel like it still needs to be bought to be experienced. Anyways, I will go over the description and we shall go from there. Alright, let's get started. Time travel has made the edge of time a dangerous place. To protect the edge of time from disastrous alterations of time travelers, and Aeon Legion seeks the greatest soldiers in wars from the most bloody war-torn eras in history. Those they deem worthy gain a chance to compete in the toughest training program ever designed. Tara Mason, a plain 18-year-old girl from the modern United States, has an impressive stubborn streak. Her persistence and brave gains the notice of sponsorship of one of the Aeon Legion's greatest heroine. Now, Tara must turn that stubbornness into determination if she is to continue the history finest soldiers and somehow pass the Aeon Legion's final test, the mysterious Labyrinth. She will not quit. Tara will prove that even someone as average as her can still be a heroine. Hans Spear is polite, good-natured, charming, a genius inventor of time travel, and dedicated member of the Nazi Party. Yet he cannot understand why people from the future regard him and his fellow Nazis as monsters. Now, he must use his charisma, cunning to challenge a seemingly invincible Aeon Legion in its monopoly on time travel. He will not quit. Hans will steal history itself from he has to, mistakenly believing it will prove him to be the hero. Likes. I'm switching it up today. I'm doing likes first before dislikes. Is that on purpose, or we don't know? Well, we're gonna find out. Anyways, I think the book opening is like one of the best openings for like an action book. Like, it shows us everything that the Aeon Legion is and all its speed, its knowledge, and just its overall just awesomeness of what the Aeon Legion really is. And it gives Tara Mason a goal to what's gonna be the goal, you know, eventually at the end, with how strong she can truly be, which is actually a really good thing for a book to do that. You know, giving characters a motivation to get to the strongest point. It's called theming. Mega Man showed me that. But other than that, the action usually carries when it gets there is carrying pretty good, you know. Overall, it's really good. The characters are solid. They boast enough energy and overall, and yeah, and then what else? Oh yeah, Hans. Hans is just charming. It's hard for me to sit there and say, I shouldn't say I want this guy to win, but it's like, man, he's really good with his words. So Han just wins because of his own cunning personality. So as much as I like Hans more than I like the main character, which is something I don't think you should say, especially about his character type, but yeah, overall, this was a lot of likes in there, but it does come at a cost, though. And that comes with when we get to, the overall, I guess you could say. Because, like, the swords themselves are awesome. There's a character named Cerberus. He is awesome. And then there's an ending piece that it leads for the second book. And I cannot wait for that one. Still waiting on that. It still says 40% on this page. So I don't know if he's updated it at all. But, yeah, no, I really think there's a lot of greatness in this one book. There's a lot of things to look forward to and see what can happen in literally the future. However, this comes with some downsides. Dislikes. The plot and pacing of this sucks. It drags. Like, bad. Oh man, I remember just so much info dumping in this series that it just, it bored me. I was really bored for a lot of these pages, and it just it's hard to get through. But the thing is, though, this Aeon Legion stuff and the future of time travel and all that stuff, you kind of have to explain it. You can't just go in and expect like, oh, we'll just jump in and just have a bunch of sword fights and call it a day. No, sadly, I understand that you have to explain this stuff, but I'd rather experience it other than be explained to me. It's a classic case of show, don't tell. He constantly tells us about it rather than showing us, which is the biggest downside of all this. And I know when I say I want to get into spoilers, but this is a slight spoiler. The plot is nothing but trading. That's literally what it is. And it's all based on the Aeon Legion, how they work and how this history is and all that stuff. And I get it. And I understand it. I completely get why he did this. It's to make sure we understand what goes on in his world. How everything functions. Why does it function this way? It's all there for a reason. And it sucks because we have to stop the plot for it. And it has to be slowed down for us. Because if we didn't know about it, then it wouldn't work. Then we'd be confused, asking questions and asking why didn't he explain this early or why didn't he explain it at all. It all comes at a cost. With this future stuff in time travel, it's fun, it's good when it gets there. And that's the problem, like I said, with the pacing. It barely gets there. There's a few action scenes in there that fully use the Aeon Legion's abilities. Only a handful. And when it does, it's amazing. It's great. It's gripping. It's nice. It's awesome. But it doesn't do it often enough. And I understand that we have to know how the swords works, how the swatch works, how the time travel, how everything works, just so we can have fun. And that's what sucks about this book so much. The plot and pacing of a book is most important. And this is where it fails at. Hard. Though I like the characters, though I love the sword fights and all that, it's that right there that drains the life out of this so hard. And it sucks because there's so much to like. And that's when I guess I get to the overall. Overall, Aeon Legion is a mixed bag. I want to like it. I want to love it. But there's so much things holding it back that bugs me to coming back if I ever read it again. And that's the problem with it. There's so much to get through till we get to those good parts. The opening is great, and that's why I loved it from the beginning. And then it just dragged. So it's great to have that opening, but it's better to have that momentum keep going. And sadly, Aeon Legion doesn't do that. But even with that being said, there's a lot to it to like. And there's an end that really teases so much more to come. And since all the shackles is off, all this training is done, and we know the potential of our main character and where she can go, and the hints of the bigger power with her too, so that's something new. And it does make it into a new property, I guess you could say. It does make this Aeon Legion into something else. I want to like it more than I do right now, but as I said, it just isn't there just because of all that info dumping. So, since info dumping is done now, I think the next book will be far better than this one. It sucks because there's so much like, but it's so dragged. But in the end, I think Aeon Legion is in this kind of good area where there's so much things to still like, though there's so many things to not like, but it has a very, very good future if it doesn't do its info dumping anymore. And that's why I will give it a rating of check it out. Thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, this is the second book review I've done now, so I'm excited for more to tell you guys. So I have the previous book. It was on Levy, so check that out if you guys want to. And yeah, looking forward to the future. So thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.